What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Flash Season 7 Episode 3 video and the culmination of Eva McCulloch and the Mirrorverse storyline. This was certainly an episode with the pooching of Ralph Dibny and the abrupt ending to the Mirror Eva. Hey, at least Sue Dearborn returned, and well, that ending is beyond huge for the future of the show and shows the further commitment the showrunners have to providing adaptations of storylines that are only 1 or 2 years old in the comics, with the new forces teased at the end. As always, if you enjoyed the video, then please do drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on to never miss a video as we cover this, Snowpiercer, American Gods, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier weekly, and we'll be bringing you our breakdown of the Justice League Snyder Cut tomorrow. We open with the aftermath of last week's evil turn from Barry as he wakes up with the rest of Team Flash. Barry is, he's done with that artificial Speed Force and is adamant that the Speed Force is dead. Obviously, it isn't, and to be honest, I never really liked the storyline that it was dying, and I hated the resolution to it even more, as Central City is flooded with mirror copy of its citizens as CCPD is flooded with calls, and Sue Dearborn's parents arrive, who are mirror copies, as Sue tricks Joe and reveals she's back, Mission Impossible style. Eva is now controlling and taking people not just from mirrors but from every reflective surface in Central City, and Eva's plan for turning this into the mirror world is going swimmingly for her. I find it weird, especially at the end. It makes sense her good intentions go out the window as it's not really her, but then she changes her mind and, well, it's an odd one, a very rushed finale if you ask me. Iris is still under the coma thing that she's in, and Allegra tries in vain to give her a pep talk, and I kind of feel that Allegra is sadly redundant in Team Flash at the moment, as everyone's a science whiz and has some kind of powers too, but Star Labs goes into lockdown as Barry is taken into the Mirrorverse because they tried to, avoid this happening, but it happens. Anyway, I found this a bit of a dull episode, sadly, despite loving the character of Eva McCulloch. She deserved a bit more, to be honest. Eva has her monologue to Barry, or is that a soliloquy? I can never remember. That she wants to make a better world, and Barry has simply made the world worse and not made it better, and now it's her turn. She wants to help him with her tech and fill the world with her people. Yeah, I'm not too sure how it would be better, but Barry refuses, of course, and I do like the idea that Barry hasn't made the world a better place, and like the trope that the world is more dangerous as villains' powers escalate to match the fastest man alive as he escapes as O.G. Wells appears, and it seems that as we expected, a small part of the world's energy lives on through O.G. Wells, which was the one that Barry wanted to meet the most. I'm so happy that we've moved on beyond the gimmick world, which became beyond cringe, and Tom Cavanagh must have something on these showrunners to survive death so much. O.G. Wells retains the memories and the experiences of all worlds, and he remembers Allegra. He wasn't part of the worlds that died in Crisis, so he survived. Yeah, I don't think the show's writers even bothered to try and explain this. They just really want Tom Cavanagh to return because he must have some dirt on someone. We learn that our boy Ralph is alive, but he's poochied, and well, yeah, you may as well have just not included him, especially with that robot voice thing at the end. Of course, he's difficult with Harley Sawyer's tweets that came out, and they're bad by today's standards. I'm not going to go into this or the topic of conversation. That's really not what this channel is about. On this channel, we just dissect the shows. It's really dumb, and to be honest, just recast him at this point if they really wanted to keep him around, which I think they possibly might do, as Sue Dearborn is supposedly a part of this season, and their comic story is just too big to waste. Personally, I agree with the fellow YouTuber Pagey, who I watched his video on this episode, and he did say, why not just turn him into looking like one of Team Flash and do it that way. But yeah, I don't know why they did this. We learn, and oh boy, this was This was pure cringe. The iris is the key to Barry bringing back the Speed Force, as he's the paragon of love. Yeah, I completely forgot that, and I cringed in a retrospective cringe. And that he can create a spark, and Iris uses this spark to ignite the fusion sphere. Yeah. Anyway. However, we see Wells look at Barry with his glasses off, as it's clear he saw what we saw at the end of the episode, showing the other forces being teased as they go off to face Eva as she creates clones of herself and she wants to become the Mirror Monarch. Yeah, I could not stop laughing at that at 6 a.m. when I watched this. As Vibe returns with a powered suit, I shall dub Iron Vibe. He got rid of his powers. I still think that is terrible. But I do like this show, but I must say. Barry can't be as fast as Eva, as she's faster than light, and Barry is sublight, except Barry went back in time. Yeah. I guess as the science is so bad this episode that we're just going to really kind of avoid these plot holes and forget they happened, as Barry conveniently wipes out the mirror clones. The fight scene was actually pretty cool, but the music was weird. I don't know why they chose that. And Allegra says it sounds like Iron Heights on a Saturday night, which, why would a prison be jumping on a weekend? Anyway. Oh yeah, Joe and his chick are in danger the whole time. There's that thing. They keep cutting to them to show how dangerous everything's happening. But this was a terrible send-off for a really cool villain, as Eva at the end decides to go back into the Mirrorverse, and all the people who were cloned return to our world because, yeah, they didn't want to kill anyone off for real right now. And I guess Cisco deserves at least one girlfriend who doesn't die. Now, our boy OG Wells says his job here is done. I'm leaving, but, well, he can travel through time because, wait, who the frick cares? Who cares? It literally makes no sense. But Robot Ralph is here, and it's awful. I guess they didn't want to get rid of this character, and they wanted to kind of keep him around to tell the story and continue the story, but yeah, I've said my piece on that. However, we saw 18 hours earlier a flash of light and these different colours, and what is this? Well, these are the different forces. Much like the Speed Force, there's many other forces that were introduced in the comics a few years ago in 2018. We have the Sage Force, which was used to explain the powers of people like Gorilla Grodd, which increases their intelligence and their telekinesis of people connected to it, which is the blue one. The Still Force, which is green, controls entropy and inertia of beings, notably used by the villain the Turtle, who moves super slow, and the Still Force is the opposite of the Speed Force, if you didn't guess that. OG Wells has green around him, and this might explain why he moves through time. While not a power of the Turtle, it might be changed here. Now lastly, the Strength Force is red and, well, gives you strength. Hunter Zolomon discovered these forces while studying in the future, and they were beyond the Force barrier, which Wally West was manipulated into breaking, and I highly recommend checking out this whole story. It is great. Wally returning and everything like that. Just really go and check that out on Comixology or pick it up in the graphic novels on Amazon. Eventually, these forces will have a champion, of course. Barry is the guy of the Speed Force, but a character called Bashir takes on the spirit of the Sage Force, and Powerhouse, another character, takes on the Strength Force, and many, including the Turtle and Commander Cold, an alternate Captain Cold from the future, vied for the Still Force, the opposite of the Speed Force. I imagine this will be a season-long mystery as Wells investigates this and takes on the role that Zolomon did in the future of looking into this and explaining it to Barry and things like that. But I imagine that they might go to the future and introduce Commander Cold, which would be a great way to bring back Captain Cold, which I think would be great. But Commander Cold was the good version, as the evil people, the rogues, had a good version used to keep the peace in the future, which I think is really, really funny. But that's it for this video, so let me know what you think down below. I am going to be covering this now because these Easter eggs are so very, very fun to break down for you. So do subscribe with notifications on, hit that like, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.